Hello everyone, and welcome to our special weather report. This week, Europe is bracing for not just one but two major storms, each with its own unique challenges. In the south, a slow-moving system is drenching the Mediterranean with heavy rain, while in the north near Iceland, a powerful storm is sending strong winds and rain barreling toward northwestern Europe. The southern storm is especially concerning. Its sluggish pace means relentless downpours, raising the risk of serious flooding for Italy and the Balkans. Rivers are already swollen, and local authorities are on high alert as water levels continue to rise. Meanwhile, the northern storm is a classic, intense low-pressure system. It's set to batter Ireland, the UK, and Norway with fierce winds and driving rain, threatening coastal areas and making travel hazardous. While these storms are different in nature, both are intense and disruptive. This week promises dramatic weather scenes across the continent, from flooded streets to wind-lashed coastlines. As November draws to a close, a surge of colder air is fueling these powerful systems. The clash between warm and cold air masses is making the weather even more volatile. For many, this means days spent indoors as rain pours down, while others may face travel delays, power outages, or even evacuations in flood-prone areas. In this report, we'll break down which countries are most at risk, what kind of weather you can expect, and the timing of these impacts. We'll also share tips on how to stay safe and prepared. Make sure to stay prepared and keep up with your local forecasts. Timely updates can make all the difference when severe weather strikes. Our journey begins in the south, where the threat of flooding is at its highest. We'll look at the hardest-hit areas and what residents can expect in the coming days. Then, we'll head north to see how the storm will affect the British Isles and Scandinavia, bringing strong winds and heavy rain to these regions. We'll also check in on Central Europe and even the Canary Islands, where gusty winds and unsettled weather will be felt, reminding us that no corner of the continent is untouched. By the end of this report, you'll have a clear and complete picture of this wild weather week and know what to watch for in your area. So, let's get started and see what's ahead for Europe as these powerful storms unfold. The first major story is the persistent storm over the Mediterranean, a system that's drawing the attention of meteorologists across the continent. This slow-moving system will unleash days of heavy rain, especially over southern Europe, with some areas bracing for rainfall totals not seen in years. Moisture from the warm sea will fuel relentless downpours, raising the risk of severe flooding and dangerous conditions along the coast and inland. Some areas could see over 200 millimeters of rain, enough to overwhelm rivers, trigger landslides, and cause flash floods in both urban and rural communities. The rain begins Monday night and continues through the week, with the potential for even more if another low-pressure system develops over the weekend. This is not a quick event, it's a prolonged threat that could last for several days, bringing persistent cloud cover and little relief in sight. People in affected regions must stay alert for weather warnings, prepare for possible power outages, and be ready for dangerous travel conditions. The storm is locked in, with little atmospheric change to move it along, meaning the same areas could be hit repeatedly by heavy rain. Warm Mediterranean waters keep fueling the rain, making this a relentless event for millions, and increasing the risk of flooding with each passing day. The main concern is for life and property, especially in flood-prone and mountainous areas where water can rise quickly and evacuation may be difficult. Rivers may overflow, and flash floods are likely, with roads and infrastructure at risk of being washed out or damaged. This is the most significant weather threat in Europe this week, dominating headlines and prompting widespread alerts. Pay close attention to updates as the situation develops, and follow instructions from local authorities to stay safe. Preparation and caution are essential. Stock up on supplies, secure your property, and have an emergency plan in place. Let's take a closer look at which countries are most at risk and what to expect in the coming days. Central and southern Italy are in the direct path of the Mediterranean storm. These regions will see repeated intense rainfall, raising the risk of flooding and landslides. The threat extends east across the Adriatic into the Balkans, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, Montenegro, and Albania. Even Greece, Romania, and Bulgaria could see heavy rain. The Balkans' mountainous terrain makes flash floods especially dangerous, as water rushes quickly from hills to valleys. Rivers will rise rapidly, and saturated ground increases the risk of landslides. The danger begins now and lasts through Friday, possibly into the weekend. Residents should follow local advice, avoid flooded roads, and have a plan to move to higher ground if needed. This is a week for vigilance and preparation. The combination of geography and persistent rain creates a high risk for widespread flooding. Stay alert and prioritize safety. Let's move to the mountains, where the storm brings a different challenge. Next, the Alps and beyond. While valleys brace for floods, the mountains face heavy snow. The Alps, stretching across Switzerland and Austria, will see major snowfall, great for ski resorts but risky for avalanches and travel. The Balkans mountains will also get thick snow, creating sharp contrasts over short distances. Floods in valleys, snowstorms in the peaks. This week brings both. Heavy snow can weigh down trees and power lines, causing outages in remote areas. Some regions could see over a meter of new snow, rapidly transforming the landscape from autumn to winter. For mountain communities, it's time to prepare for challenging conditions. The same storm causing floods below is dumping snow above as moist air cools over the peaks. This process will continue for days, building deep snowpacks. It's a powerful reminder of how mountains create their own dramatic weather. Now, let's head north to the Atlantic winds. In the north, a powerful low-pressure system near Iceland is developing, often called a bomb cyclone. These rapidly intensifying storms are known for their dramatic drops in pressure and their ability to unleash severe weather across vast regions. This storm will send strong winds and rain across northwestern Europe, starting with Iceland. The island will be battered by relentless gusts and heavy downpours, with coastal areas facing the brunt of the impact. It's a classic but particularly intense autumn storm, moving quickly but affecting a wide area for days. As it races eastward, communities from rural villages to major cities will feel its effects, with travel disruptions and power outages possible. The strongest winds will be over the ocean, creating huge waves and dangerous conditions for ships. Mariners are urged to take extreme caution, as the North Atlantic will become especially treacherous, with waves towering over vessels and spray reducing visibility. As the storm moves east, Ireland and the UK are directly in its path, with waves of rain and wind. Coastal flooding and travel delays are likely, and residents should prepare for rapidly changing conditions. Even as it weakens, it will still cause blustery, cold, and unpleasant weather. Streets will be swept by chilly gusts, and daily routines may be disrupted by the lingering effects of the storm. The storm will also pull down cold, Arctic air, dropping temperatures across northwestern Europe by the weekend. This influx of frigid air will be felt from the coastlines to the inland regions, signaling an early taste of winter. Expect a 1-2 punch. First wind and rain, then a blast of cold air. The transition from stormy to icy conditions will be swift, catching many off guard as autumn gives way to winter's chill. Scandinavia will also feel the effects as the storm moves east. Rain, wind, and falling temperatures will sweep across Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, bringing unsettled weather to the entire region. This system will reinforce the cold already in place, making late November feel like winter. Snow and frost will become more common, and communities will need to brace for slippery roads and freezing mornings. Let's see how the UK, Ireland, and Scandinavia will be affected. Next, we'll break down the local impacts and what to expect in the days ahead. For Ireland and the UK, unsettled weather arrives midweek. Rain bands sweep in Wednesday, with the main storm hitting Thursday night into Friday, bringing widespread rain and strong, gusty winds. While flooding isn't as severe as in the south, heavy rain could cause local issues, especially in western hills and coasts. The biggest impact will be difficult travel and outdoor conditions. Norway's exposed coastline will also see strong winds and heavy rain, especially in the west. By the weekend, the storm moves on, but colder air settles in, making it feel much more like winter. Wrap up warm, temperatures will drop sharply. This storm marks a clear shift to winter for the UK, Ireland, and Scandinavia. Let's check in on Central and Western Europe. What's happening in the middle of the continent? Central and Western Europe won't escape the unsettled weather. Germany and Poland will see a mix of cold rain and snow, especially in higher areas. France and the Benelux countries will get rain from both the southern and northern storms, with the heaviest in southern and eastern France. The weather will be mostly gray, cold, and damp. Spain and Portugal, on the edge of the storm tracks, will have some rain, mainly in northern Spain, while Portugal stays drier. Even the Canary Islands will feel gusty winds, showing the reach of these powerful systems. Almost every corner of Europe will experience some impact from this active weather week. The main drama is in the Mediterranean and North Atlantic, but the effects are widespread. Now, let's talk about the cold air settling in. How will temperatures change? Besides the storms, cold air is a major story this week. A large area of cold has settled over Europe, fueling snow in the mountains and making rain feel even colder. The northern storm will reinforce this chill, pulling Arctic air south as it spins. By the weekend, the UK, Ireland, and Germany will feel a new blast of cold. Snow could fall in lower areas at night, especially in Germany and Poland, leading to icy roads. Winter is arriving fast. Be prepared for tricky travel and colder days, even in cities. Temperatures will stay below average for late November. The cold air separates rain from snow, shaping this week's weather story. Everyone will feel a touch of winter, not just in the mountains. Let's wrap up with a summary and safety tips. In summary, Europe faces a stormy, unsettled week. The south will see days of heavy rain and flooding in Italy and the Balkans, with huge snowfalls in the Alps and mountains. The north will be hit by strong winds and rain, especially in Ireland, the UK, and Norway, followed by a sharp drop in temperature. Central and Western Europe will get a mix of cold rain and snow. Stay informed. Check your local forecast daily. If you're in a flood-prone area, have a plan and avoid flooded roads. In the north, secure loose items and be cautious in strong winds. Postpone unnecessary travel in the worst-hit areas. Check on vulnerable neighbors. This wild weather is a reminder of nature's power. Be prepared, stay cautious, and stay patient. With simple precautions and up-to-date information, we can all get through this safely. Stay warm and stay safe.